In a universe where the outside prevailed over the inside, Ethan Rivers reigned supreme. His life was a constant display of wealth and power, where he saw himself as the master of the world and the people around him. Just imagine his days. A frantic mix of lust and pure fun, where love is just another toy that you pick up and put down when you get bored. Each move is a cold calculation, where emotions are exchanged like coins in a dirty game of power. For him, life is a chess game where human pieces are moved without the slightest respect for the feelings or dignity of others. He believed that his fortune gave him the right to treat people as he saw fit. As a titan of the business world, at the head of the Rivers Construction Group, he erected his tall, gleaming buildings, while in his heart reigned a darkness that no gold could illuminate. Ethan Rivers was recognized for his firm management, but always surrounded by kindness towards his employees. He had this wisdom that satisfied employees were the cornerstone of business success. Under his leadership, the Rivers Group flourished, becoming stronger and more solid. One beautiful day, Emily appears, a radiant young woman, with a smile that lights up the office. The news of her hiring by the Rivers Group spread like wildfire. They said the company needed someone with exceptional beauty to take on the role of receptionist. Emily soon captivated everyone with her enchanting presence. A client close to Ethan even joked about how many contracts would be signed just to see her there. But Emily wasn't just beautiful on the outside. Her true charm lay in her brilliant character and generous nature. Ethan, curious to see this highly praised receptionist, finally got the chance to meet her. Upon seeing her, he was struck by her beauty and greeted her warmly, welcoming her to the company. Her warm smile has become a trademark of the Rivers Group. The employees, previously accustomed to the cold, corporate environment, found Emily a source of inspiration and motivation. Ethan, upon realizing the positive impact Emily was making, saw her as not just a talented receptionist, but a key player in the company's culture. He encouraged her to bring her ideas and contributions to the growth of the Rivers Group, recognizing her as a valuable asset beyond her reception skills. Thus, under Ethan's visionary leadership and Emily's brilliance, the Rivers Group became not only a business powerhouse, but also an environment where beauty of character and competence were equally valued. And so, in a meeting marked by kindness and the promise of a bright future, Ethan and Emily began a new journey together in the business world. Ethan, a big guy in this business world, was blown away by Emily. He's seen a lot of beautiful women out there, but there was something about her that really moved him. He couldn't explain it, but Emily became the sensation of his life. But, smart as he is, he knew he couldn't mix work with flirting, so he tried to keep his distance. If Emily hadn't been his employee, Ethan would have already thought about making advances, to enjoy some time together. Every time he passed by her, he would let out that wide smile, looking up and down in a very discreet way. "Emily, I thought it was just politeness from the boss," so she returned the smile, happy to be part of the team. And so, between exchanged smiles and quick glances, a story of forbidden attraction began to heat up in the company's corridors. One day Ethan was going to the office when he missed Emily at the reception. Her colleague explained that her father was sick and she had to take a day off because of that. The next day, when Emily returned to work, Ethan noticed that she was not well. He approached and said, "What's up? I heard that your father isn't doing very well. How is he?" Emily couldn't hold back her tears and started crying. She got so nervous that she fainted. Ethan was scared and called the other employees to take Emily to his office to rest, in addition to calling a doctor. When Emily woke up, the doctor explained that it was just a scare, a feeling of discomfort caused by emotion. After the doctor left, Ethan asked Emily what was going on. With tears in her eyes, she confessed, "If I don't find money quickly for my father's surgery, he won't survive." Ethan, worried, asked for more details, and Emily explained that her father was very sick and could not wait for surgery in the public network. The situation demanded immediate intervention. Ethan, thinking quickly like a businessman, considered a solution to help Emily. After listening carefully to Emily, Ethan decided that helping her was his priority. But if that help could also bring him closer to her, that would be a bonus. After a brief hesitation, he proposed. Emily, I can help you, but... He paused, assessing her reaction. Emily stopped crying and looked at Ethan, waiting for her proposal. After a brief silence, Ethan suggested, I suggest that when your father is out of danger, you accompany me on a 2-week trip around the world. Upon hearing the proposal, Emily was quite indignant and replied, I can't believe you had the audacity to make me such an indecent proposal. Spending 2 weeks traveling with you? Never. Even in the face of her refusal, Ethan smiled, realizing that his interest in Emily only increased. After Emily calmed down a little, Ethan tried to convince her. Relax, it's no big deal. I need to check out some partner companies, and it would be great to have a company as beautiful as yours. He blatantly lied, but Emily was no fool and didn't buy that story. After recovering from the shock, she replied firmly, I thank you, but I can't accept it. And she left immediately, without waiting for anything else. Ethan's jaw dropped at the speed of her response. He barely had time to offer his help, even if she didn't accept it. He decided to leave it to talk to her the next day. But unfortunately, that night, Emily's father took a serious turn for the worse and had to be rushed to the hospital. The doctor explained to Emily that he didn't have much to do other than surgery. After spending the entire night pondering Ethan's proposal, Emily decided to look for him the next morning and declared, I accept. Please, we need to help my father urgently. Without hesitation, Ethan acted quickly, making a few calls. Hours later, her father was in the operating room. His recovery was remarkably quick. Ethan visited Emily's father 3 days after the operation and was relieved to see his improvement. 20 days after the surgery, Emily boarded with Ethan on his private plane bound for Amsterdam. When they arrived at the hotel, Ethan requested a room, but Emily insisted on having 2. Ethan smiled and complied with her request. Ethan proved to be a patient guy. At night, they decided to go out to explore the city and ended up having dinner in an incredible restaurant, accompanied by soft violin music. At first, Emily was a little defensive, but let's face it, who wouldn't relax in Amsterdam, with good music and a few sips of champagne, right? The city was just beautiful. An air of romance was in the air. In the narrow streets, they found bars, and everyone seemed happy and smiling. It was all so charming. When they got back to the hotel, Ethan made a suggestion. How about we spend the night together? Emily soon reminded him of the initial agreement, refusing the proposal. But this denial only made Ethan more determined to win her over once and for all. But he was wrong, as Emily valued her integrity and wasn't going to get involved for money, even if Ethan had helped with her father's treatment. Let's not forget that Ethan is one of those who like to seduce women and then dump them. Well, Ethan didn't have true romantic feelings for any of the women he was involved with. But the way Emily resisted his advances was defying all his tricks. He tried everything, from gifts to taking her to incredible places, but nothing seemed to shake her determination. In each hotel they stayed in, she insisted on sleeping in a separate room. However, some of what Ethan shared with Emily was genuine. She accompanied him on visits to his partner's companies, demonstrating skills by presenting the Rivers Group's organizational charts. The partners were impressed by her intelligence and beauty, and congratulated Ethan on his excellent choice of employee. Despite not showing it, Emily was aware of Ethan's true intentions from the beginning. As the journey brought them closer together and her gratitude for him for helping her father, a burning desire for him intensified within her. However, she was determined not to give in to his whims, refusing to exchange affection for financial benefits. On the last night of the trip, Ethan decided to intensify his efforts, aware that so far he had not been successful. The atmosphere of romance seemed to be permeating the air. The city's charms were not enough to convince Emily to spend the night with Ethan. When they returned from the trip, Ethan was visibly upset and disappointed. For the first time in his life, he found himself rejected by a woman, despite all her efforts to win her over. When Emily returned to work, Ethan didn't even give her the usual "good morning" with a smile on his face. He was clearly dejected, tormented by the rejection of the woman he so desired. At the end of the day, she went to his office and said, "Ethan, our agreement is over. I fulfilled my part of the bargain." "Yes, you did," Ethan replied sadly upon hearing Emily's words. She approached and kissed him. Ethan, although confused, responded to the kiss he had been longing for the last 15 days. After the kiss, Emily looked into his eyes and confessed, "I fought hard to resist your advances and your indecent proposal. However, I would never forgive myself exchanging love for money, but the truth is that I wanted you the whole time." Surprised once again, Ethan recognized Emily's uniqueness, different from all the other women he had had a relationship with before. He wanted her for himself and was completely in love, determined not to let her escape. Tenderly, he kissed her, and that night, all her romantic dreams came true. You know, it was incredible how Emily changed Ethan's view of women. He always had this idea that women were just objects to satisfy desires. But Emily came and showed that it goes much further than that. She brought to light the reality of genuine love, something Ethan didn't even know existed in his corporate world. From then on, everything changed. On business trips, instead of simply being an employee, Emily started to be introduced as Ethan's wife. It's crazy to think how one person can have such an impact on another's life, right? She was firm in her values and did not allow herself to be carried away by indecent proposals or the superficial culture that was going on around there. This story is one of those that makes you stop and reflect. Emily shows us that no matter what environment we are in, we can always maintain our principles and values. She reminds us that genuine love and integrity are worth much more than anything material or social status. It's one of those lessons that we carry with us for life. Do you agree with me? Did you like the story? Enjoy and comment below what you think. More beautiful stories like these will soon be here on our channel. Thanks for watching.